Hey. How you guys doing? So, hopefully everybody's doing all right, you know. So, I have a little bit of time today, so I figured out. Actually, yeah, sometime I have some time. I'm just that inspired. But anyway, so what's been going on with y'all? Um I've seen some political stuff and Biden's going some kid was asking Biden to actually pay for like have a $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness and all that stuff, and Biden's like, nope. So, which I thought that was amusing because that's pretty much why they kind of elected him in the first place, to try to get free shit. And I kind of like Biden. I like Biden because so far he's doing everything that I predicted. He's not really a socialist. He's more of a corporatist. Um, his main interest is to pretty much for the big corporation and stuff like that. I guess Trump to a certain degree. So to think that you're gonna elect Biden and then you're gonna get free shit, well, I guess some people will. I mean, but anyway, I want to talk about entitlement, right? So, was it like a couple weeks ago? I checked out a video from O'Shea on his King Gunda channel. It's actually pretty dope. He was talking about entitlement, all that good stuff, and pretty much he was discussing about entitlement, and with family members, with people, because you might have the same skin color as someone else, so automatically they are entitled to your labor, to your effort, so on and so forth. All right. What up, Art? I just came back from the buffet and I was banned for life. Well, stop eating all them food, man. But anyway, so hold on, let me put that shit real quick. But anyway, so yeah. So now let me go back to the subject before I lose my train of thought, right? So now, so the video Osho was talking about, like, people that try to get the hookup, or try to feel like they are entitled to your labor, feel like they are entitled to your accomplishment, and therefore without actually bringing anything of value to what you try to build, right? So I found it hilarious because it was around the same time I'm dealing with next of kin of mine, right? He's I'm dealing with somebody, and then let me break down the whole. Um, I didn't actually, like, I didn't really know him until like recently, right? So I met him and stuff like that. Actually, he's not a cousin; he's a nephew, right? So I recently met him, and then hey, uncle, blah blah blah, what's going on? So it's all good. He's a very smart kid, going to college and all that good stuff. And then I like him because he's very intelligent. He was someone that I would classify as his book smart, right? And of course, a lefty, because we all were when we were younger, right? When we're young, we're socialists, and as we grow older, when we actually understand the meaning of hard work and your own labor, you kind of grow out of it. So hence why even nowadays the people that tend to veer more towards free shit are those who don't really aspire to become more than they are right now. They expect the world to give them everything while they do nothing in the process, right? Which is why politicians get elected, because they promise free shit. So anyway, now, so first day I met this dude, right? Cool, having a good conversation. He's pro science, all that stuff, and of course, a lot of socialist talking point, like I figured he would, right? Because that's his age. That's how they have gone through the brainwashing at school and stuff like that, right? So you can expect the victim mentality, white people are stopping you from doing shit, or so on and so forth. Cool. Well, anyway, so um But one of the things that he did I didn't like was he asked me for money and tried to guilt trip me into giving him money because we're family, right? That's that entitlement thing that I'm like, I don't like that. That was like my red flag, right? But anyway, so I told him like, yo, don't do that again. Give him some money and all that stuff. And I told him like, well, I guess in a way, he didn't get the message, right? So he thought that was his way in, but not realizing, dude, that's your way out. The first thing that you did that was iffy, and even though I let you know that I don't like giving people money unless they actually earn it, right? You have to earn that shit, right? All right, cool. So fast forward a couple weeks later, I got a phone call. Hey, uncle, how you doing? How would you like to invest in me? In my mind, I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. So I'm like, all right, well, what way? Well, I wanna, I want some money because I wanna buy some stuff, right? Some he wanted to get some shoes and stuff like that, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, then I got some work for you if you're willing to do it, and then you get that $100 you're looking for, right? So I told him that, all right, you're gonna write for me 3 articles, right? So that's gonna be like 40 bucks a piece, and then you get $120. So you're gonna get more than you're looking for. So of course, later on, this dude called me talking about like, oh, he's busy at school. He had to go see psychiatrists because of all the stress at school, blah blah. I'm like, okay, what the hell does that have to do with you working for what you're asking for? Or I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking, I was looking for you to invest in me. Well, that is me investing in you. Like what? Here's the funny thing, right? If, like, let's say you ask someone for something and then they say no, all right, cool, thanks, I appreciate it, and then you move on. But this dude was so busy trying to convince me how he actually has the right to my labor and that he shouldn't have to actually write the articles for me. I should just give him the money. So it's like, and I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, dude, nothing in life is free, right? And of course, he argued like a leftist. He's like, well, apparently that is not actually true because, we breathe oxygen. Argue like a leftist because usually, right, when you get into those type of argument, it's like it goes around in a circle because you're not going nowhere. He's not going nowhere. So it's all about like, it's like you repeating and then you end up wasting a whole bunch of time and you'd be like, for what? What am I talking about? So let's say him saying that, then you'd be like, well, actually, for you to breathe oxygen, you gotta have the plants that actually breathe out. You gotta breathe out carbon by, dioxide, and then the plants take it in, and then they take out oxygen. Blah blah blah. Right? But all of that has nothing to do with you. Why you want to get my money for free? So, and then like, and he start playing the victim narrative or how like his mental state, anytime somebody try to like, use the sympathy card, my radar just go like ding 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 ding. Oh, so definitely. So now you're not making any sense. So then you want to use the sympathy card. Somebody should feel sorry for you in order to get what you want. Very manipulative, right? All right, because I came across people like this. But anyway, so, and then as we're like going, I'm like, talking and all this shit, and I'm like, wait a minute, why why am I arguing about this shit? It's simple, right? You said you want something from me. And I said, okay, then I want you to do something for me in order to get what you want. And if you said no, then I said, okay. So then we both part ways from that negotiation. Why the fuck am I wasting my time convincing this kid that in order for you to get my money, my resource, that you have to do something for me, and he's trying to convince me, no, I don't have to do shit for you in order for me to get your resource. Like, what the fuck is going on here? All right. And that's like that's why the whole the thing with O'Shea was so like it was so relevant because how many of you guys come across people that feel like they are entitled to what you have, right? Like I don't have much money, right? Well, to most people, so to some of my biggest supporters, I'm a bum. I'm a homeless dude, right? So I'm broke, according to them. So I guess yeah. So I'm broke. So then therefore, why the hell would someone try to actually part ways with my resources? Something that I work so hard to, to be able to save my money, to be able to do what I want to do in life, right? To make my dream come true. That's not the worst of it, right? So, and then we didn't talk. So I'm like, you know what? Listen, I ain't got time to waste. You say you don't want to do it, then I can help you. But anyway, so fast forward like couple, I think like couple days later or stuff like that, right? He texts me and all this shit. So I just ignore him. I'm like, dude, I'm not talking to you. So anyway, so he's like, hey, uncle, I see you are avoiding me and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, because you are entitled. And I feel like, until your mindset change, then I'm just gonna keep my distance. How am I entitled? Do you want me to spell it out for you? How are you entitled? And then he's trying to have a whole debate about this shit. I'm like, all right, you are entitled because you feel like you want to get my money for free and you were not having to do anything with it. Well, technically, I wanted to borrow it and I would actually pay you some interest. Dude, you broke. And what? You're gonna pay me like a year later? Which is what he said. I'm gonna pay you like a year later. I'm like, dude, I don't need you to pay me with interest. I need you to do something for me as you want me to do something for you. That's the deal. And let's face it, A, you're not gonna be able to pay me back. And B, a year later, who the fuck wait for a whole year to get $100 back? You know? But anyway, so it's like, well, if that's the case, then you are entitled as well because don't you need to, like, let's say if you need to borrow money from the bank to actually buy a house and all this shit. I'm like, oh. See, that just proved to me that you're financially ignorant. Oh, I didn't know you was gonna try and insult me, uncle. Dude, you are financially ignorant because that's a fact. Think about it, right? In order for me to borrow money from the bank, I have to have collateral. I have to have good credit. I have to be able to give something in the process. So then, therefore, if by any chance I can't pay that loan back, then they can come back and take their shit. What the fuck do you have? What? You know, what the fuck do you have? Exactly. So it's like, dude, me saying that, and here's the funny thing, right? Me and him sometimes, like, we have fun, we talk and all that shit, right? But I don't have time. I don't have time to have 2 or 3 hour conversation. I don't have, dude, I'm barely on YouTube nowadays, right? Yo, Steven, what up, my dude? Yo, I keep fucking up, man. I'm sorry. Yo, what you doing right now? You wanna hop on real quick? Oh yeah, because we're not gonna have that time for that. Sunday. I'm off Sunday. All right, you off Sunday? Am I off Sunday? I think I might be off Sunday because I only have like, yeah, I don't have much time on my clock. And today's Saturday. Yeah, I think tomorrow night. Yeah, you know what? Sunday is good. Sunday is good, Steven. All right, we'll do it Sunday. I'm gonna reach out to you and stuff like that on Facebook. Sunday. I'm sorry, dude. We feel like we've been playing musical chair with that shit. Yeah, I was supposed to do a live stream with Steven. But anyway, so let's go back to this whole entitlement shit. So basically, this kid feel like he's entitled to whatever I have. And the articles that I actually wanted him to write about are things that we talk about on the regular anyways. So to me, it's like, all right, if you have enough time to blow up my phone with a whole bunch of messages and shit like that, right? Try to show me how smart you are. I might as well make you write me an essay, which is the same thing you were gonna tell me anyway, and I will ask you questions. You do the research, and you laid out what you think about what I'm asking you about, your perspective, and you get paid for it, right? Yo, what up, Oshi? What's going on, man? So it's like, dude, It's simple. It's the type of shit that you love talking about anyway. So why not actually make some money out of it? Because you want money, right? I'm just not gonna give it to you for free. But this dude feels like because we're family, he's entitled to this shit. And to me, it was like a famous person once says, right? A very smart person once says, right? You ask for money, you get advice. You ask for advice, you get money twice. Because the thing is, a lot of time when people come up to you and be like, all right, this is my number one rule, right? My number one rules when it comes to actually giving people money. Don't give people money that don't care about your advice, that only want to have your money but not your advice. That's my number one rule, right? So let's say, for instance, right, if I'm dealing with someone that you have money problem, you have money issues. I'm like, all right, well, have you maybe thought about doing some Uber? You could actually do some work online. You can do this, you can do that. If you're not interested about what I have to say about how you could actually get yourself out of this situation next time and stuff like that, and if for God forbid I help you, and then next time you come to me again and ask me for money, then I'm gonna ask you, did you do what I asked you to do, or that what I advise you to do? And if you start making excuses, then I'm not interested. I don't want to hear it. Well, I don't have time to do Uber. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. But you do have time to try to convince me out of my money, right? Well, you got time. And it's like that's the type of entitlement that when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, and I can understand why sometimes when people they are better off than their peers, they just move away from them because they don't want to have to deal with that pressure. Whereas, like, well, are you better off than us? Then therefore you owe us something, right? It's like, dude, my friend, he has, he's doing his business. He have like a soap thing. He's doing all that stuff. When I buy soap from him, I don't ask him for freaking discount. No, as a matter of fact, that's me investing in him. That's me investing in his effort. Like, why do you think out of all the people that I follow on YouTube, right? O'Shea is the only one that I actually Patreon to. Not because like me and him, we are, like I always agree with his content. I, his content is freaking awesome. He's very entertaining, but I don't always agree with it. But actually, I appreciate his hustle. I appreciate his effort. And the fact that he's able to build something from the ground up, the Negro Manosphere, the website, and all this shit and stuff like that, right? Create a level of resources to other individual to come through and use that. And to me, that is something to be applauded. Regardless whether or not you agree with some of the some of the manosphere mentality or whatever the case may be, that's not the point. The point is he showed real effort, and like that's one of the hardest working individual I know. And for that, he's worth my investment. He's worth me actually Patreon to him. It's the same thing with like anybody that is doing something that's like that has a certain vision that I believe in. I will invest in that. You know? Hey, what's going on, Mivtovsky? So it's like, dude, you cannot just feel like you are entitled to people's money. You cannot feel like you are entitled to people's effort, to people's sweat, blood, and blood, sweat, and tears. Unless you actually have something tangible, or unless you have a certain level of value to bring into the person's, drive already, then you cannot expect that person to just like, pull you up unless there's something in it for him. Because the world don't give a fuck. The world don't care about your mental state. The world don't care about what happened to you when you were young. The world don't care. It's all about, okay, what value do you have and how can I extract that value? Right? If you're a smart individual, all right, good. How can I use that brain of yours to actually help me with what I'm already trying to build? And in exchange, that you get compensated for it in some sort of way. Right? So then therefore you can also use that resource that you are extracting from me to build your dream, to build what you're trying to build. That's how the world works. You exchange value with one another. You exchange value with people. But to think that the world owe you something because you had a hard childhood, because you came from a single parent home, or you got one arm, or something bad happened to you in the past, or because you're black, or because we're family, because none of that shit. No, people don't give a shit. People don't. And unless they are directly impacted by your success and failure, they're not gonna care. They're not gonna care. You know? So it's like, I want, let's say, my family to succeed, because I want them to be in a better position, to which if there's something that we need to do together as far as a big investment and stuff like that, right? We can chip in together and we actually make it happen, right? So their success, there's something in it for me. Because if they're successful, if let's say my siblings are successful, then if anything happened to my mom or to my parents, then the burden is not going to be on just that one person that has the mean to do it. So we can all share that burden together. And it's like, it's the same thing with, but if let's say that I have nothing to gain or to lose from your success or failure, then I'm not really going to care that much. And I do understand, like, because sometimes you love to see your, like, your peers like advance, right? Because it's like being involved in their story, it's like you rooting for someone to actually make it, to become something, right? So it's like, O'Shea making it, and I'm like, yeah, I remember when this dude had like just a couple of thousand subscribers. I'm liking this shit, right? So it's like, I'm rooting for him to succeed, and the same way that he's probably rooting for me to succeed and all this shit, right? But if I don't make it and stuff like that, or I don't succeed, is that really gonna impact O'Shea? No. Just like if O'Shea fail, is that really gonna impact me? No. But I want him to succeed just like he wants me to succeed. Same thing with anybody else. Like, had I went to I was in Texas, right? Took the plane to go to Texas. I had one of my boys pick me up. When I got in this truck, the first thing I asked him, I'm like, yo, you got how's your gas? He's like, I'm good, man. But I'm because he came through, didn't ask me for some money, and if I offered, he wouldn't take anything. So yeah, dude, we talked, take him to a freaking restaurant and shit like that. We had some burger, eat and all that stuff, and we're good. And every time when I talk to him, he's like, yo, if you need anything about what you try to do right now, just let me know. And vice versa. So it's like, as long as you're willing to actually invest in one another, that is a fair trade right there. But if everything that you want to do is that you take, and you don't give nothing back, and then when that person cuts you off, be like, nah, we're good. And then you feel like, oh, well, you have no problem investing in other community now, are you? Okay, you don't have any problem investing in all communities either, because that's why you dropping like mad cheese on like other shit. You know, Tommy Sotomayor speaks the truth. Oh, hey, Shema Meftovsky, Yakshimash. Stop complaining, keep your leg closed, get a job. Whatever that means. But yeah, anyway, so I'm not keeping you guys for long. So thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. Thanks for sharing this. So share, like, subscribe, and I'm out of here, guys. Peace.